Welcome back to Give That DreamWorks Movie a Franchise. Alright, Manhunter Patrick, you're our next lucky guest. Which door will you choose? Door number 1, number 2, or number 3? Pick door number 2!
Pick
No,
number 2
door
or
number
number 3.
three.
There is no number 4
three.
to that number.
Number 3.
Okay, let's check out what you didn't win. You missed out on A Boss Baby 3.
Oh, what a relief.
And you lost an early release of the Wild Robot sequel.
Aw, but I love that movie.
Don't worry, you still got your complimentary prize. It's another Bad Guys movie.
Yes, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, it feels good to see this franchise again. Hey, if I'm gonna talk about it, I might as well make a bad good pun. Back in 2022, DreamWorks Animation introduced us to their latest series, The Bad Guys. It was funny, had refreshing 2D/3D animation, and some adorable, likable characters. The first film received enough money at the box office, allowing Mr. Wolf and his friends to get, what else? Their own animated franchise. And the package deal include a few cartoon shorts, some holiday specials, and finally, a sequel. Makes sense since this is based on a book series. So, what has been happening since the bad guys got released from jail?
Welcome to another episode of The Wonder Reviews. It's time to go on another crazy heist. This is The Bad Guys 2.
In this follow-up, the bad guys have officially decided to become good guys. But of course, nobody can forget all the crimes they committed throughout the years. Suddenly, they get held captive by the bad girls who want them to steal the Moon X rocket as the ultimate crime in the world. If they don't do it, Kitty and her friends will break their spirits and expose Governor Diane Fockington as the Crimson Paw. So the bad guys have no other choice but to steal the Moon X rocket, while also elaborating a plan to outsmart the bad girls, save the world, and be clear from any framed charges. Now to the sequel's credit, the stakes are much higher than the first one. It resulted in the bad guys being stuck in between a rock and a hard place where they had to pull off the Moon X rocket heist or let the bad girls unmask Diane as an ex-criminal and remove her from office. Plus, the film does act as a mystery where there's a unique connection between the rocket and a special mineral known as MacGuffin Light, and how exactly could it pull off the ultimate robbery? And once the answer's been revealed, yeah, this is the ultimate scheme. And much like its own predecessor, the humor does succeed as a funny movie. This isn't the kind of comedy where it heavily relies on literal good or bad puns. It pretty much acts like a funny Looney Tunes cartoon inside an action movie, including some squash and stretch slapstick, crazy facial expressions, great delivery lines from talented voice performances, and even hilarious cutaways. It also helps either that everything around this movie acts as a crazy adventure. However, as funny and adventurous as it is, I somewhat noticed that it throws everything at us to keep focusing on the bad guy's new heist. It forgot to focus on the plot regarding the character's journey. Technically, yes, there is still a character-driven story where some like Wolf and the others do grow as good individuals, but it didn't focus on the main question on what should the bad guys do to prove to the world that they really have turned over a new leaf. They have been working on a way to undo the bad girl scheme, but the sequel didn't focus on their road to redemption that much. The action and comedy are still amazing, but I've seen a lot of stories about second chances that are a lot well written in terms of storytelling, like Steven Universe, Nam and Sandy, My Little Pony, and even movies such as K-pop Demon Hunters, Megamind, and any Star Wars movie. This one mostly stays the road until the ending instead of the middle, but I will admit the epilogue does open to future possibilities for the bad guys in a very unique way. But where do they stand as characters in this particular sequel? When making a follow-up, there has to be at least a significant upgrade on what happened to the characters since their last adventure. There is something new to them, but it's mostly minimal. But they are still likable characters thanks to the voice acting, and there are some additional layers to some characters. With Wolf, he's still the driving force behind the whole bad guys turning good, where he's trying his best to show the world that he and his friends are no longer stealing stuff. But we do get some glimpses that he used to enjoy robbing, not for money or gold, but for the thrill of the chase. But he still wants to have that sense of feeling good again like in the first movie, and tries to win Diane's heart in the present. His friends are still the same with the usual comedy and special skills, like Mr. Shark is the master of disguise, Miss Tarantula is the ace hacker, and Mr. Piranha is the little wire fish. The only former bad guy member that went through a big change is Mr. Snake, where he's more chill and less grumpy due to falling in love with one of the bad girls, Doom/Susan. Another character that got an upgrade is Officer Misty. She's now the commissioner, where she doesn't know whether or not the bad guys are trying to save the world, even if they offer her some helpful guidance. Then there is Diane, the hot Governor Fox that wants to help the bad guys from the mess they got themselves into, while still trying to uphold her job to keep her past criminal life a secret. Like the MacGuffin lie, she serves as the best evil scheme for the bad girls' mission that if the bad guys plot to turn the tables on them, they will expose their beloved governor as the notorious Crimson Paul. Speaking of the girls, they do have their own personality, technique, and comedy as their counterparts. Pigtail, for instance, is the big muscle girl who is a major fan of the bad guys. Doom is the smooth-talking raven that does seem like she has feelings for Mr. Snake. And the main antagonist, Kitty Cat, is the leader of the pack that wants to steal the rocket for the ultimate crime. As the movie's villain, she can be quite threatening because she believes stealing and towering over others is what makes someone like her noticeable and be able to get whatever she wants. Oh, and by the way, Marmalade is back in the sequel, now as a big muscle guinea pig and getting his own Silence of the Lambs scenery. You know what I'm talking about. The one where the crazy evil villain from a pack experience gets interrogated by one of the main characters to uncover some clues. In this one, he surprisingly delivers some insane dialogue, and you can tell he's laughing maniacally to get revenge on the heroes that ruined his plan and locked him away. Well, it's a good time as any to mention that the bad guys was DreamWorks' first attempt to create 2D/3D animation. This was loosely inspired by the success of Into the Spider-Verse, where it may look CGI, but you can still see some pencil-drawn artworks on either the characters or settings, leading to other movies like Mitchell's vs. Machines, The Last Witch, Mutant Mayhem, Disney's Witch, and K-pop Demon Hunters to try out this new art form. And we're getting more of that later for films like Sony's Goat movie. Now with the Bad Guys sequel, it remains the same as last time, but we still get some new things we get from its animation. All of the character designs still have the same cartoony 3D look, but the 2D is noticeable on some of their features like their faces or textures around them. And this also applies to some of the new characters like the bad girls or other humans. In addition, the character animation is over the top and energetic, giving all of them a Looney Tunes/comic book style to them. While there isn't a lot of notable backgrounds in the follow-up, many of the new locations are really nice to look at, like the palace and marketplace in Cairo, Egypt, and especially outer space during the climax. Speaking of which, the action scenes are the highlights of the movie, and they're a lot more exciting. There's a lot of creative scenarios on how the bad guys and girls pull the heists or improvise as they go along. They get even more awesome whenever the characters do some car chases or battle against each other in combat.
Much like the first movie, it does look like a moving graphic novel where all the suspense are basically leaping out of the screen, and there's still a lot more color to the environments no matter where the characters go. I wouldn't consider it as a hardcore movie or anything, however, the operation is still a big success.
The Bad Guys 2 is just as good as the original. I wouldn't consider it as one of the best DreamWorks sequels with an unfocused plot, but the comedy is always funny, the action scenes are still awesome, the animation is incredible, and the characters, both old and new, are really likable. If you love the first Bad Guys movie, or you're into some other furry animal flicks, then I recommend you give its follow-up a watch. This is a DreamWorks franchise that's worth keeping around for a while. Well, seeing how they are considering on turning this into a trilogy, I'm open to that possibility. Either way, I think Wolf and his friend made a good move on taking the right direction. I'm going to give The Bad Guys 2 a B+.
I'm Mad Hatter Patrick, now if you excuse me, I'm going to play a game of Connect 4.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.